So autism meltdowns, in this video I'm giving you 5 tips to help you prevent autism meltdowns happening. This is real stuff that I use. I'm so excited, let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to the Ask Me world. My name is Dan, I have autism, ADHD, OCD and dyslexia, and I make weekly videos all about this type of content. So if you're new around here and you'd like to learn more about that, remember to hit the subscribe button by clicking that notification bell down below. If you're watching on Facebook, Instagram and TikTok, be sure to give this page a follow for daily videos just like this. Okay, so autism meltdowns, oh my goodness. Guys, I have pretty much daily meltdowns, but there are ways that I can prevent them escalating to something more than that. And also there are ways where I don't actually have the meltdown because I prevented it by doing certain things. Now, I've listed out 5 of the top ones that I use, and I'm going to go through all of these right now with you guys. But before I do that, if you want to download my free Autism Life Hacks PDF book, you can do at autismhacks.net right now. Okay guys, so the first one I'm going to talk about here is planning. Now, planning is key for autistic people, and it's key for a few things. To prevent many meltdowns from occurring, a lot of autistic people have meltdowns because they've maybe forgotten an appointment that's going to happen, or they're supposed to be somewhere like a class and they don't have the right timetable, so they don't know what class to get to. And this dropping the ball notion of thinking I should have been somewhere, I should be doing that, but I forgot it and I've let myself down, can cause a huge ripple effect and cause a lot of people to have meltdowns. I surely had one of these like this. I was in college and I was doing a access to science, and I was doing a chemistry prep work, and I was supposed to have a doctor's appointment to see my doctor because I'm on medication for my condition and stuff like that, and I forgot to go because I didn't write it down and I didn't remember. It wasn't even on a plan or anything. And then the doctor phoned me and left a message saying you missed your appointment, and I was so worried, I was so upset, and it caused a meltdown in the class. It was just a whole thing, and I never wanted to do that again. So now I completely use, my iPhone is kind of like my lifeline, my iPhone and iPad. If I didn't have an iPhone and an iPad, I literally wouldn't be able to function. So I kind of have a planner on my iPad and my iPhone, which I use quite a lot. I'm going to do an in-depth video on some of the new apps that I use. So leave me a comment down below if you want to see a video. You know, if you think it's a good idea to see a video, I'll just give this video a thumbs up. If you think it would be good to talk about the apps that I use to plan my life. But I basically have apps that I can list out, like my to-dos, that send me little reminders. And one of the main ones is the Apple Reminders on here is pretty good. So if you've got an iPhone or an Android phone, you can use the Reminders app to tell you or alert you when something happens. So as soon as I get like an appointment or a call come in, I say, remind me on this date that I gotta go here. That works so much, and it helps really reduce the potential for meltdowns. Okay, so number 2 is disconnection breaks. I learned this one from going through my recent bulk of therapy with an autism specialist. Now, a lot of the time we think that, an autistic person needs to, sit down, relax, go to a spa, go away for the weekend. That's not how autistic people relax. Autistic people need to be in the environment that they're comfortable in, but be disconnected from the things that are demanding of them. So my work in this office is demanding on me, right? But if I were to take a break, I want to still be in the office playing games or watching movies or whatever, or playing with my virtual reality games, but without the demand of my work demanding of me. And what happens is if you don't take breaks from having demands, then you'll have this pressure buildup or an accumulation of pressure buildup that will eventually cause meltdown, shutdown, burnout, all kind of horrible, nasty stuff. So my advice is to create weekly, routines where you take 1 or 2 hours every day to completely disconnect from anything that is demanding of you. So this could be just having a meal with your family, or going for a walk, or playing video games, or something that is completely chilled. It's super important to do this because it's giving your brain that breathing space it needs. Okay, so number 3 is interest engagement. Now, a lot of people forget about this, but making sure to implement time to do your special interest, like gaming or reading books or whatever, or researching stuff, is super important. Now, as we get older, our life becomes way more demanding. So school takes over and we have less time to play games, or less time to, we have study coming in here and there, whatever. We've got homework and all this kind of stuff. And it's kind of like, when do I get the time to research the stuff that I really enjoy? But if you set aside time to make sure that you implement your special interest, which is sometimes demanding, I'm not saying this is the same as the disconnection breaks, because this is a totally different thing. This is making sure that you do follow through with your interest, because what happens is when you exercise your interest, your special interest for something like, say you're into cars, or you're into virtual reality, when you express that in for you, it soothes your brain. It's kind of like a massage for your brain. You know, I love learning. I can't stop learning. So to relax, to really get into something that's like really interesting to me, I'm learning to speak Chinese or Mandarin. And so I think, like, you know, that soothes my brain because I always have to learn. When I'm not learning, I get really depressed, and that could cause me to have a meltdown. So this is really important to make sure that you are taking care of your special interest first and making sure you do that. Okay, so number 4 is Brillia. Now, Brillia is a homeopathic medication that is completely prescription free, so you don't need to go to your doctor to get a prescription for it. But I would recommend, before taking anything, always consult with your doctor, because let's face it, something may work for me, but it may not work for you, and you may have a different condition than I do. But Brillia are sponsoring this video, and they kindly sent me this. They've kept me in supply of Brillia now for like the past maybe 12 months, which is absolutely amazing, and I love this. Basically, this is what it does. It helps enhance clarity, improves connection and attention, and reduces anxiety, stress, restlessness, irritability, and impulsivity, which I think is a godsend for people with ADHD and autism. So basically how it works is that you just pop a couple of these under your tongue, maybe 3 to 4 of them a day. It needs a week or maybe 2 to really get into your system before it starts to take effect. But what it does is it really just kind of takes the edge off all of that anxiousness and irritability, and it helps prevent you getting so anxious and so irritable that you then melt down, right? Which is super interesting. I love Brillia. I can't recommend it enough. It works for me. It may not work for everybody, but I highly recommend checking it out. I actually have a discount in the description down below, so make sure you check it out. Brilliant in the description down below. Use the discount code, and yeah, why not send them a hi on social media? Tell them Dan said hi. Okay, guys, so number 5 is hydration and food. This is a big one. Talking about hydration, I'm gonna have some right now. So, keeping well hydrated and fed, like check-in on meals, is a fantastic way to avoid meltdowns. Most of the meltdowns happen in the evening for me because I forget to eat. Now, one of the main things about autistic people is that they get so hyper-focused on something like work or you know, their special interest or something else that they forget to hydrate themselves with water. It's super important because being dehydrated will give you headaches, it will cause a lot of stress, and that could cause a meltdown. But also eating. When your body is not fueled, especially autistic people have really actively fast-pacing brains, and those brains need to constantly have this like burning of energy. Now, if you don't have your energy levels topped up, then how on earth are you supposed to function in any way, manner, shape or form, especially getting rid of meltdowns? So I have a complete meal in a box called a Huel, which is kind of like a powder that you shake, or like a pasta and powder that you put in the microwave and you add water, and that's a complete meal with like vitamins in it. And I use that because in the morning I always forget to do breakfast, but I can just pop this shake in the night before and I've got my meal sorted. But having a reminder reminding you when to take lunch, breakfast and dinner, and also when to drink water is a great one. You have to keep on top of water and food intake to make sure that you're at tip-top capacity and you are not going to melt down. This is so important, guys, and keeping yourself well fed is super important. I know it's not easy sometimes with lifestyles, and also sometimes, you know, food's expensive. I get it, you know, so just do your best, and I'm rooting for you. I know you can do it. Guys, I'd love to know your comments. Pop it in a comment down below. I read every single one. Guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it if you find it valuable, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace.